Hello, hello. Hi guys. Okay, so I am drinking my tea. I am on here today to do a quick like 101 type video, back to basics of shading and shadow. I would like to point out that I am in no means an expert at these things, but I have seen so many videos of people that are far more accomplished at colouring and art than I am, but I thought I'd do one anyway, because, you know, I don't know, it might be useful to someone, you never know. Right, so first of all, I'm just gonna be weird, and all I've done is I've cut a little like slanted thing. You don't have to do this, but I just thought it would save having to like mark the paper, because that can be where my light is coming from. Okay, so normally when I was taught many moons ago, so what, 20 odd years ago, longer than that, that's just, it's like 24, 25 years ago. I feel old. I feel so old. The first thing, right, okay, just let's do just a really basic shape first. So we're just going to do a circle. Well, that is not a good circle. We're just going to do a circle like that. Okay, so what I was taught was you think about where your light is coming from. So if it was coming from above there, you would just place two lines to show where your light is coming from. But I thought maybe with this it would mean that you wouldn't have to mark your paper, but you're still getting the visual sort of idea of where your light is coming from. You can move it around. So if it was coming from there, if it was coming from behind, if it was coming from below, above, that sort of thing. You get the idea? So anyway, as I've drawn that now, right, so with colours, because I think that that's the thing, isn't it? It's easy to say, right, well, you're shading, if it's in black and white, you're kind of like darker and then greyer and then white. So with colours, I would take the lightest and start with the lightest. So that would be, if I do it in blue, so I would just go round the whole circle. Oh, this blue is already running out. That's not great, is it? So I'd start off there, and then I would concentrate on the fact that, so here, if the light is coming in, this is going to be my lightest spot. So I'm going to avoid colouring that bit. but I'm going to go to the next colour down. So I would maybe just draw a kind of, so that's the bit that I'm going to leave light for now. And I'm going to go around the rest of it. And just colour it in. And when you're colouring, if you make circular motions rather than lines, you end up with less of a kind of like residue mark of where you've been. That sounds rude, doesn't it? Where you've been. Right, and then I'm going to go to the next colour, which is this one apparently. And I would, again, sort of so as it's a 3D shape sort of thing, obviously you're going to get the highest point is going to be the lightest, but as you go around the sphere, you're still going to get some light hitting it until you get really around the midway mark where it dips underneath. So go around. Go around with that one, and then we're going to go on to the next darkest colour, and the kind of gaps in between the colours get less as you go down. And then I go to the next darkest colour. And the next darkest colour, so you get the idea, yeah? Oh, God. Yeah, I'm doing this very quickly. Okay. So now what I do, because obviously it looks a bit odd, you've got to try and kind of blend it. So again, I'm going to think about the lightest point being like right on the top there. This is the same light colour, but I'm going to go over it again, apart from around that point, and I'm going to kind of overlap it with the next kind of layer of colour. And I'm going to go over it again, but like again leave a bit of a gap. So you can already see that it's starting to blend into that. And then the next colour. I'm just going to come up a little bit, but like overlap it, if that makes sense. So I'm going directly over the line and letting it spread out. So you're kind of just building it up so that your colours are mixing in together. Keep going up. And obviously you can be a lot more precise than I'm being right now. And I'm going to go over the darkest bit there. And anywhere that I've kind of can see that it really stands out, I'm going to go over with a slightly lighter colour so it blends it a bit more. Maybe this one. So as you can see, they're starting to kind of build up and blend together. Okay, and then for the shading. So again, I would go for really, depending on what surface you're doing. If it's grass, then obviously really like green to start off with. I'm going to do grey. So you know your light is coming from here. So your shadow is going to be on this side, because obviously this ball is blocking the light from getting to that table. Okay, so the light is going to shine down on this table, but here the sphere is blocking it, so you're not going to have that where the sphere is. So you start sort of maybe quarter of the way down, come out, like so, and I'm just gonna colour that in. As I say, I would normally take a bit more time, but I'm trying to be a bit quicker so that the video doesn't like really go on and on for you. And then I'm going to go with the next shade down, but I'm not going to go out that far. I'm going to go back to the lighter and just go over this area, blend it in a little bit. And And then I'm going to go for quite a dark colour and just do like right under, you're going to get the darkest shadow, because that's where the light is really not going to hit at all. So under there, and then go in with an even darker colour and just do sort of like maybe a line. So, yep, so that would be it for me. I'm going to rub out those pencil lines. They're really bothering me. The imperfect circle. Come on, rubber. Is that a rubber? I think so. So there we go. And a lot of the time with alcohol markers as well, I've found that they do dry a heck of a lot lighter than they show up when they're wet. So just bear that in mind. I mean, that's not the best, but what I would do, and in fact the circle is probably the harder one because you haven't got like all the light variants and stuff. It's basically straight on. So yeah, if the light was coming from here, obviously you would have your circle of lightest section going down and at the back here, and the shadow would be kind of coming up from here. And if it was straight down, your circle of light, and it would be getting darker and darker, and your shadow would be just underneath. So you just got to think where your object would block the light. Okay, so if you only have like one shade of blue, say, yeah, what I would do for shading is, when I'm drawing my circle, I would leave that circle of light. Oh, here we go with the grapefruit circle. So I would leave that light bit, and I would go over once with it, the pen, and then I would go over again, like leaving a gap there, and then I would go over again, leaving a gap. And then go over again, leaving a gap. Go over again, leaving a gap. I mean, in some ways this is easier because it's already kind of blending together because it's all the same colour. But as you can see, it starts to get darker at the bottom. And sometimes I do this anyway. Yeah, just go over until you see that it's the darkness that you want at the bottom. Like so. And I might close that up a little. perfect. That looks a bit silly. Ah, my circle's getting bigger. But the more times you go over a section, obviously the darker it's going to get, because you build up the layers and the colours and that shading. And then if you've got grey, then maybe we do it on a green, because green is a relatively common colour to have in pens, isn't it? So with the green, again, the shadow is going to be the same, because we're still doing it from that kind of angle. And I mean, if you're doing the whole table, I mean the whole grass section, I would do it up to maybe quarter of the way. You can go up further if you wish. And then I'm gonna go over this bit again so you can see its shadow, and again I'm gonna go a bit darker. Okay. And I'm going to go over again here, because the closer you get, the darker it is as well, when you're talking about like things being far away. So just give another bit of depth to your colouring. There we go. There is that one. As I say, sometimes it looks a bit better anyway, because it's already blending really nicely together. So, whereas this one obviously is striped. I didn't choose the right colours, I don't think, for that, but that's okay. We have a stripy ball. Okay, so, but the most important thing is to remember where your light is coming from, and where, as a solid object, your light would be blocked. So, perfect example would be, so here I've got the light coming down on my hand, and then a shadow is going to be underneath, because it's coming from the top, and then on the bottom I'm going to have a shadow there of my hand. I hope that that all makes sense to you. So as I say, super basic 101 on shading and shadowing. If you want, I'm quite happy to do another one of these where I'm doing a more complex sort of shape to show you where the light would hit and where the shade would be. just let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, if even one of you find this helpful or useful, then I will be happy. A happy person. Okay guys, well, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will hopefully catch you in the next one. Take care guys, love ya, bye.